All right, welcome back to Melon Mondays. If you were here last week, then you know that I went over the Democratic candidates for the Missouri open Senate seat. And as I said then, I will be going over the Republican nominees, or I guess candidates for the nomination. Before I get into that, just wanted to put out there, if you are appreciating the information that's being presented, or if you just want to support the channel, you can go ahead and subscribe. Currently at 56, goal is to be at 75 in the next month or two. Be putting out weekly videos. There is 2 more Mondays, I believe, until August 2nd, primary day. The day before, I will be putting out a video with final remarks. If there's any polling, updated polling, I will discuss that and give my own prediction for who the candidates will be. And then the following day, I want to put out a video, and that will be going over the results, assuming they're in, and just going over how the November 2nd election is going to go. All right. So getting into it right ahead, I wanted to talk about the top 4 candidates and then an independent candidate who announced his running a few weeks ago. And the top 3 candidates, each of them have had their commercials. Probably the biggest names in the race for either party. Vicky Hartzler, who they have at 24%. Eric Greitens at 23.5%, and Eric Schmidt at 22.8%. Now they say the margin of error is 2.9, so they are all within the margin of error being the leading candidate or third place. Now this poll was done late June, the 20th through the 30th. I believe that was before Trump said he was not endorsing Vicky Hartzler, so she may be lower in the polls. It's interesting, he has not come out to support a candidate yet, but he has confirmed that he's not supporting Vicky Hartzler. With that being said, I am also going to talk about Billy Long, because from what I've seen, Trump has said a lot of positive things about him. It really seems like Eric Greitens or Eric Schmidt, one of them is going to be the nominee from what I've been seeing in the last week or so. But if Billy Long were to get the endorsement, he may slide ahead and get that. And so we're going to talk about him a little bit. And then afterwards, going to go over John Wood a little bit, who has been a Republican his whole life, but he's kind of running on similar to Trudy Bush Valentine for the Democratic nominee. He's running on let's kind of calm down. Missouri needs to be united behind a candidate, and his campaign is basically giving a third option outside of Democrats and Republican. And the reason why I'm including him in this video is because, as I said, he's a lifelong Republican and I think identifies as a conservative. So in terms of who his supporters would be, I think that would be, he would pull more from Republicans. He has said that, he's going after Republican voters, or not going after, I guess, going for the support of Republican voters, independents, and moderate Democrats. All right. Anyway, I'll get into that at the end. But starting off with Vicky Hartzler, she was endorsed by Josh Hawley, I think is the biggest name that has endorsed her. Josh Hawley being the other senator in Missouri. Whoever wins this race will be his, I guess, kind of co-worker as the 2 senators from Missouri. So, as I did with the Democratic nominees, For them, I did all 11, just a quick rundown. For this one, like I said, only doing the top 4 plus John Wood, because there's such a difference in polling for the Republican side. And I'm going to try to show what their policies and initiatives and what they're running on, I guess. Which Vicky doesn't have like an issues page or a policy page. This is like her accomplishment page though, so you can pause it and read through it if you want. Yeah. So just a quick history on her, I guess, if you want to pause it and read through. As I said, they all want Trump's endorsement, but she is definitely not getting it. Trump has said that he will not endorse her. So I think that will bring her polling down, probably. Now, as I said, it is 2 weeks away from the primary, and Trump has not endorsed a candidate, which is interesting. I'll have to go back and see when he endorsed, like Dr. Oz, for example, who, after the endorsement, that kind of helped him go through and win the nomination. So that's kind of interesting that he's staying out of this one, as of now. My thinking is that, Eric Schmidt and Eric Greitens are both avid MAGA Trump supporters, America First candidates. And so maybe his thinking is, okay, both of these guys are loyalists. Vicky Hartzler is kind of distanced herself, so I'll for sure say I'm not endorsing her. So then that'll cut back on her votes, but without endorsing Schmidt or Eric Greitens, because maybe either of them are fine for him. So like I said, Eric Greitens was technically second place in this poll, really within the margin of error, 3-way tie. But I'm just starting out with his endorsements. He seems to have the most avid Trump team support, I would say, with Kimberly Guilfoyle, big part of Trump's campaign and has done multiple events with him, and I believe is Trump's daughter-in-law. She's running his campaign, I think. General Michael Flynn, who Trump pardoned during his presidency and was questioned by January 6th. Rudy Giuliani. These two men have been brought up a lot January 6th hearings because of their involvement. And then these other people, I'm not too familiar with most of them. I haven't really heard of them. If you've watched like political videos on YouTube or history videos, you'd probably seen an ad from Prager University. Dennis Prager runs that, I guess. They put a lot of those like 5-minute ads on videos, which I guess probably cost them a lot of money to do it. But anyway, his endorsements, he has a donate page, contact store. This is his website. News just with headlines about him and stuff that have been written. Yeah, I did see this poll from 538 where it's saying that Greitens would kind of crush anybody. Greitens put out that controversial ad that probably most of you have seen of him saying, "Let's go rhino hunting, Republican in name only," where play on words of basically, he said it was like a symbolic thing of taking out the fake Republicans in Congress. That got taken off YouTube, I believe, and Twitter and Facebook also. He also has an about page. does not have an issues. So far, top two candidates do not have any. They may mention some policy, but they do not have any part of their websites dedicated to it. Eric Schmidt, his endorsements right here. Ted Cruz. Eric Schmidt being the Attorney General, current Attorney General of Missouri. He does have an issues page. Now, it's not very detailed necessarily on what his issues are. This more shows what's important to him, I guess, but not necessarily plans, I think. Maybe some of them have like plans, I guess, for how he would fix these problems. Like for this one, Supreme Court Justice just saying that he would vote for judges who understand the role of a Supreme Court judge. So not really anything policy related. And then in fourth place by a long distance in the points in recent polls is Billy Long, current United States Representative, I believe. I just read an article from the Missouri Independent on him where he said that his own team did a poll and it had him at 11%. So he said unless he gets the Trump nomination, he's not going to win. Probably. He said Eric Schmidt or Eric Greitens. But here are his issues, pretty similar to Schmidt. America First candidate, the border, elections, the classic deficit hawks. We saw a lot with the Democratic candidates about Missouri farming, because agriculture is a big part of the state economy. Yeah. As I said, you can find all these websites. Go into the URLs. These are the top 4. Definitely more people know who they're voting for, I think, for the Republican side than the Democrat. Just because Missouri is a red state, the Republicans have put way more ads out. They have way more name recognition than the Democratic candidates. And we'll just have to see August 2nd who wins. Personally, I think Democrats have the best chance if Eric Greitens is the nominee. Because with Schmidt, I think he has the best chance of winning as a Republican nominee because of his name recognition. He's the current Attorney General. He got a lot of recognition over the pandemic of suing or like ordering or suing counties and school districts about mask mandates and like going back in person. He's got a lot of name recognition recently. Greitens, I think voters may think he has too much baggage. So, if he got the nomination, I think the Democrats have the best chance of winning. Now, I think Greitens still has a better chance of beating the Democratic candidate. That's just as of now, though. Democrats may pick up some steam from August to November. And, yeah. So, as I said, near the end, getting to John Wood, who is an independent candidate. He wants to give Missourians a third choice that's outside of the two-party system. Now, John Wood has said he's been a conservative all his life and is targeting votes from the Republicans, independents, and moderate Democrats. So my thinking as of now, I don't know if there's been polling on this, but that he would most likely take votes from Republicans in the general election in November. Maybe not. I don't know if it's called general election for midterms, but in the November election. Now, would that be enough to give Democrats a chance? I don't know. I'll be interested to see what polling comes out between August and November. Yeah, like over those 3 months to see if John Wood peels off enough votes from the Republicans that the Democrats win, or if what he says is true, where he ends up taking votes from moderate Democrats, which I think my guess is a lot of the Democratic population in Missouri are probably moderate independents and Republicans, then that'd be really interesting. That would make him the third independent senator. Maybe not in history, but like current independent senator. That'd be interesting to see who he votes with a majority of the time if he were to become the Missouri senator, because I believe the two current, definitely Bernie Sanders votes with the Democrats way more. I'm blanking on who the other independent is, but I'm pretty sure they vote with the Democrats more. So because John Wood is an independent, I would assume that his ideology fits along with, the other conservatives in the Senate, so he would probably caucus with the Republicans more. So I really hope that there's more information about what he supports, which I'm sure maybe on his social media it would say. But other than that, that's it for now for this video. So I know this one was not as informative as the last one. This one probably had a lot of stuff that you already knew. But if you would go ahead and subscribe, you'll get updated on the next one and the following after that. And if you like this one, please hit that like button. And I will see y'all next time.